What do you think about Kadyn Proctor being back on the field for Alabama?
I mean, it's massive. We talked about how it was going to be tough sledding for them on the offensive line, and we didn't really know
Right.
who was going to be stepping in and how that group was going to look. And it's significant, even though Kadyn Proctor was a bit inconsistent last year. He's still one of the best, most physically gifted true freshmen to play offensive line in the past decade. He showed and flashed the talent that he has. There's a reason why he could be a future first-round pick, very early first-round pick. So to bring him back is enormous. I mean, that was one of our biggest concerns, is how they were going to play in the trenches if they had the guys and the identity for them to be able to run the football, to be able to block consistently, and for them to not lose a step offensively, despite them, making this transition to a new coaching staff.
I agree with you. One thing I do agree with you wholeheartedly there. I think it's a big addition that you get a left tackle back. Okay, I think that it helps Kalen DeBoer when it comes to the physicality of this league. Okay, you got a big dude, 6'8", 330, 340, whatever he is, that can play there. It's a big deal. On the field, Joe, I mean, look, he struggled early as a freshman. I'm not going to put that on him. A lot of freshmen struggle early. He was put in a very tough situation. He's really going to be a really good offensive lineman, okay? Here's what I will say. I do hate it for Iowa because now you were expecting him to be your left tackle, okay, going into spring, and now you got to hit the portal for another one. It's just the rich got richer, and I think that he's going to be a good player. I mean, everything I said about him before, even though I think what he did was very soft to some extent, I do think that he is going to be one of the best offensive linemen in the conference. I think he's going to be a prototypical top 20 pick when he goes into the draft. It's a big deal for Kalen DeBoer. And look, man, I'll give DeBoer this. Regardless of what I've thought about him coming in, I will admit where I'm wrong. He has done a lot in recruiting so far, and even getting a guy like Proctor to come back, regardless of how it happened. I will say this, that's something that I'm monitoring about the University of Alabama. Alabama in the beginning years of Saban spent a lot of money in recruiting. We haven't really seen them have to do that a lot, and necessarily like what other schools have done, because, hey man, we're going to give you this. We're Alabama. We win national titles. They spending money right now, dog. If you want to see how scary Alabama can be when it comes to their booster base, you're about to start seeing it under Kalen DeBoer. And here's a good thing for Alabama. It's good that the boosters are backing him. I always questioned and thought, like, hey, man, you're transitioning from Saban into DeBoer. Would you make a move like this for him? And they did with him. I think it's a massive on-field thing. Joe, I even question if they move him into guard, to be honest with you. Because
I don't think they're going to do. I don't think they're going to do that.
I think
he's the best offensive lineman, and he was a good left tackle.
I don't think he's their best offensive lineman, because I saw multiple times last year.
Tyler Booker's probably their best. Yeah,
correct. I just don't know how good he's going to be in space, right? And look, man, they got. I mean, you never know how another coach sees things. He can move to right tackle. He can move to guard. I don't know. We'll see. I do think ultimately, though, you got to put a guy like him at left tackle. But it will be interesting to see where things fall with him. A massive addition.
Yeah, I think just, again, the easy takeaway from this, though, is raising the standard of the product on the field. Is, we're not going to have any worries about Alabama's offensive line. I don't think we're going to even consider that they might take a step back. And I know that Parker Brailsford, who's young player from Washington, was undersized at like 270. I would assume all the eating that he's going to be doing at Alabama over the spring is going to help him get a little closer to 300 or 290. They're going to be, arguably with Kadyn Proctor coming back, I think that they might be the second best offensive line right behind LSU in the SEC.
I'm actually going to go Georgia there.
Georgia's having some turnover. I like Georgia, but like the Cedric Van Pran
seniors
at offensive line?
Mm-hmm. And classroom seniors.
How many of them have played, though? Because Cedric Van Pran's going to the NFL.
All of them.
And Amarius Mims is moving on.
Some of these aren't stars. Ernest Green III is a sophomore. He's going to be their left tackle. Dylan Fairchild is a senior, redshirted junior, but senior. Jared Wilson going to center. He's a redshirted junior. Tate Ratledge, a senior, and Xavier Truss, who came in from Mims last year, is a senior. But they got backups that are seniors too.
Yeah, Truss is fine. But I still think that Alabama is in that conversation at the very least.
Might be. We'll have to wait and see. All right, you want to get to this Clemson thing?
Yep, let's do it. BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.